charged me with kidnapping not too long ago.
Okay.
Correct? And the victim is not trying to proceed with the case because she knows that it's bullshit. Even she said it in court. I don't want to continue this case. I don't agree with nothing that y'all guys are saying, that I was endangered when I went in or anything. But they believe that I had committed a kidnapping.
The individual, was it someone that you'd had like a romantic relationship with?
Yes.
So here's the problem, right? Certain types of crimes are prosecuted on behalf of a victim, and certain types of crimes are prosecuted on behalf of that victim on the behalf of the state, right? So like if you were to like steal something from me, right, or punch me, like you assault me, I decide whether or not they're going to press charges against you. I don't want to press charges for you hitting me. Like I can give you permission to hit me, right? Like we can box, right? But if you hit your wife, right, your wife doesn't always get the decision to determine whether or not she presses charges against you.
So it's more like a he, she said.
Well, no, what it is like, if like when it comes to things like domestic violence, okay, it's against public policy to allow people to abuse their spouses, right? The public policy concept is oftentimes victims don't testify against their accusers in domestic situations, right? Because either they live together or they're married. He's the father of my kids. I don't want my kids to think I put daddy in jail. Like, I don't want my kids to think I locked mommy up. Like, all of these things. So at a certain point, like when you file, like if you were, if your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, calls the police, he hit me. And then they get there and they're like, no, I fell on the stairs. It didn't happen. They're still going to take the other person to jail based on the statement that they were abused, because they're going to assume that they're recanting their story out of fear of repercussions or out of like,
out of fear.
Yeah, like either you're blackmailing, you're guilting, you're whatever, like you're influencing that person to not press charges against you. So that's why when you're like, they're doing it and she's saying, that's why I asked, was there like a relationship there? Because if there was you
picked up right away.
Yeah.
The prosecution put me a deal, a junior 7-year deal. Do you think it'll go down or?
7 years in prison or?
Yeah, 7 years in prison. That's what they offered me. And I was like, why?
What we do here is we do broad legal questions, right? And I try to point them in the right direction. I give them information. I'm not going to give you specific legal advice and tell you like how to handle your criminal case, right? Because I don't want you to take something I say and then go do it and then not like the result of it, right?
So for legal
But because what we're talking about right now is seriousness to the point of like whether or not you're going to go to jail, you got to get a lawyer for that. This is not something you handle on your own, and you don't have to keep the lawyer you got. You can get a new one. Like you can change your lawyers like you change your socks. Like you can get one every 2 weeks if you don't like the one you got. Whether or not 7 years is a good deal, whether or not you should take it, what your next steps should be, I can't answer that question for you, bro. Like, juries are gambling. I like to remind people that O.J. Simpson killed his wife. We all agree O.J. Simpson killed his wife. Nobody thinks he didn't kill his wife. But he went to court and the jury was like, you killed your wife, but also you ran for 2,000 yards last season, so you get one free murder. You're going to have to make the decision of whether or not you think you can convince a jury that your version of events is correct. And then understand that if they convince them that they're right, it could be 20 years, right? So you got to ask yourself, is it worth 3 years for something I didn't do, right? Or possibly 20 if the jury doesn't like me.
Oh, I see.
Right? So the whole, like, when you plea bargain, you do something like that, right? Both sides aren't happy. They don't get the conviction they want, and you don't get off scot-free. Right? It's asking yourself, like, some people are gamblers, right? If I gave you $100,000 cash right now, some people might take it, go straight to Vegas, and put it on red. Other people might go bury it in their backyard, right? You got to ask yourself, is it worth, like, would you rather have $100,000 in your pocket today or maybe $1 million? Would you rather do 3 years or would you rather possibly do 20 years? Because like if say they offer you 3, but your options are 0 to 20. Well, you got to ask yourself, like, what is like the best case for you? What's good for you, your family, your position, everything else, right? Because when it comes to a jury, juries are unpredictable. But I would definitely suggest you get a criminal defense attorney, have a conversation with them about it. And then go from there.
That's perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks for stopping by.